So the very first time when I started bench pressing at home, I was just a little kid at that time in school. So I took a wooden broomstick, I put 2 tires from a car on the sides, then I laid some bricks in the tires and I started just benching. Over time, I did put even more bricks in the tires and one day the broomstick it just broke. Anyways, in today's video, I will share with you my home gym evolution from the very beginnings to my current stages, and I will share just some interesting stories, some funny stories, and I will highlight the pros of training at home compared to the gym. So the very first time when I was inspired to even think about training at home was when I was still in school and we had there our regular sport class every week. And then I saw some classmates messing around with the bench press. So they were trying to bench like 40 kgs and I also tried hitting the 40 kgs, couldn't do it. So I lowered the bar to my chest and I couldn't push it back up. And then in particular one classmate, he did a 1 rep max of 80 kgs at the time. And that was just crazy numbers at this age. We were like 13, 14 of age at that time. So yeah, this moment inspired me a lot. And then I started to think about how can I also improve on the bench press. So I started benching at home like I did mention you. The very first setup, pretty basic. Broomstick, 2 tires from a car, some bricks, started benching. But it didn't last that long because the broomstick did break. Then I had some close friends of mine and when I did visit them, they had in their basement a better setup. So they had a metal bar and they had 2 buckets on the side filled with cement. So yeah, that's how we used to bench back in the days. And I was struggling to bench the metal bar with the buckets. So I think the weight was there around 40 kgs. So these were like the first steps in training. And then right around my 17th birthday, my father actually as a gift bought a barbell. So it was this very first barbell. I still have it to date. And then he did buy some weight plates, a dumbbell set, and basically I was set to go to train at home. At my very first proper home gym, you could say. So I did a lot of stupid stuff, of course. Form was atrocious, I didn't know how to train, chest and biceps every day, no legs whatsoever. Yeah, and these were the times. No internet was around. So the setup was pretty basic. A barbell with some weights. I could do the bench press. Then with the dumbbells I did mostly some flies. Then training of course the biceps, the triceps, doing some push-ups, doing some leg raises. Then I had a pull-up bar in between the staircase, so I did some pull-ups. Then I also had a dip bar, so dips were also a good foundation of mine. So yeah, pretty basic stuff. You don't need a lot of equipment to start. And one funny story is when I was trying to improve on the vertical jump, I really was desperate to find a solution to do some squats at home. So I took a wooden ladder, placed there the bar, and I started doing barbell squats with the belt on. Form is atrocious here, just terrible. But yeah, I didn't know better at that time. Then I moved out of my parents' home and I was living in a small apartment for the next upcoming 4 years in university. And as you might know, many of the students are struggling financially and I still wanted to continue to train. So I did bring from my parents' home a set of dumbbells. I left the barbell at home and this is how I trained in my very small apartment, just with 2 dumbbells at the very beginning. So I did exercises like the floor press with dumbbells, flies on the floor, then of course some push-ups once again, arm training, shoulder training, all the good stuff. And that was the time when the internet got even more popular. I did discover YouTube fitness and I wanted to get more serious when it comes to training. So having just 2 dumbbells was not enough. So I did bring even a barbell to my very small apartment. I did buy more weights. I did buy a pull-up bar in between the door. So you can work with minimal equipment in your apartment. And having a barbell, yeah, it gives you a little bit more options. So I started doing the bicep curl with the barbell, and also I was doing the floor press. So I just took 2 chairs on the side and I started doing the floor press. Not optimal for sure, but these were the times. And then I did, of course, the pull-ups and chin-ups, even weighted on this shaky pull-up bar. And one interesting story is I really wanted starting to doing the incline dumbbell press. So I was thinking, well, a bench, yeah, it's kind of expensive. So I thought, well, I have there a couch. I will buy a wooden board, I will place it in an incline position, and I'm ready to go to dumbbell incline press. So for a while it was good, I did the incline press, but one day when I was doing the exercise with heavier weights, it did break in half. So yeah, I landed on my back. Thankfully I was not injured, but yeah, pretty funny story. After a while I did buy my first proper bench, so I can do exercises like the dumbbell flat bench, dumbbell incline press on the bench. So the wooden board did break, so I need to have a bench now to have a stable surface to press on, and then it enabled me to do many more different exercises. So basically that's how I was working out in my student days, and I achieved great results for sure. Now after I have finished with my studies, I was in a very long period of time working out in a gym environment. So for like 6 years after that, I was only training in gyms, and I was not contemplating that I would ever return to training at home again. But then the various lockdowns started happening, gyms were closed for numerous months at a time, and I was stuck training outside. So I was hitting the bars, pull-ups, chin-ups, dips, some squats, Bulgarian split squats for the legs, only with body weight. And yeah, I got frustrated. I wanted to focus on the bench, on the other movements. I couldn't do it. Gyms are closed. Then I decided, yeah, it's time to bring back my old equipment from the university days. So I brought this barbell back. I took the bench, took my old dumbbells, and I started working out at home. And I was really used to working out at the gym at that time. So it was kind of weird returning after 6 years to my old equipment and training at home once again. But after some time, I did notice some things, that it has more upsides compared to the gym. So you can work out at any time. If you are coming back from work tired, you only have a couple of hours left. So just alone the traveling time to the gym, it takes me about a good hour to pack everything, prepare for the gym, go to the gym, put everything in the locker and back, shower, and then commute back. So that's in total, I would say, close to 2 hours of unnecessary travel time. It depends also where are you living. If you have a gym across the street, then fine, whatever. But if you are driving to the gym, especially in rush hours, then I think it can take the whole trip to the gym an hour and the trip back once again an hour. So that's like 2 hours in which you could have already been finished with your work. For some, it may take not 2 hours the trip, maybe like an hour. But I think if we are talking in general here, trip to the gym and back, the commute takes about a solid hour for sure, if not more. So the pro of the home gym environment is you can start anytime that you want. Point number 2 is, does it save you money? Yes. Over the long term, it will be cheaper. When I was living abroad in Germany, I had only one gym as an option because there was nothing more around it and the prices were insane. I was paying for a gym membership like 62 euros a month, where the other competitors, if you are living in a big city, offer something like 20 euros. It was 3 times the price. Crazy. And I did this for 5 years. So it's like 3,000 or 4,000 euros just thrown out of the window. Painful to think about these days, especially when I didn't even make that much progress over these years because I didn't know how to train properly. So financially, it can be also a good situation. You can do it even with body weight, you can do it outside, you can do it only with dumbbells or with the barbell. Possibilities are endless, there are no excuses. So at my current stage, I was working out with the basic equipment that I bring back to my flat, and I did notice that it makes sense for me to continue working out in the future also in this home gym environment. So I started upgrading the bench, I started upgrading the racks, buying more weights, buying a pull-up bar, a weighted vest, rubber flooring, and it was done gradually over the months. So I also did some mistakes when I was buying the equipment. For example, if you are already benching and plan to bench like 100 kgs to pretty side or even more, you have to be benching in a safe environment, especially when you are benching at home. The risk is high. So at first I was having just 2 individual stands. I was benching on a bench that could only handle a total weight of like 100 kgs, while I was putting almost to 200 kgs of force in it. I had the leg curl and leg extension device also, but it did break. After I did put more weight on it, the specification, it said it can handle 180 kgs, but it did break with 56 kilograms. So I thought, well, if this can break, then maybe the bench can break, maybe the racks are not that good. So I thought to myself, well, I plan to train in the home gym environment in the nearest future, so the equipment must be solid, must be on point. And then I did buy here the racks with the safeties. I did buy a solid bench, which will not break for sure. And this is how I'm training currently. So the pros when it comes to training at home is number 1, by far, saved time. It saves you time, and time is very precious. Point number 2, it saves you a little bit of money. So it adds up over a long period of time. And point number 3 is complete freedom. So even if the gyms are closed, you can train at home. You can train at the times that you want. So it's open 24/7, your home gym. You can customize however you want your gym. You can listen to the music that you want. You can film videos here without asking anybody for permission. So I think in the nearest future, more and more people will transition to training in a home gym environment, and you don't need any fancy equipment to start. Like I did show in the beginning videos, you can start off pretty basic and then build upon it. So the next video you can watch this. Here I am talking about my current bench press program, how I'm structuring it to make very good progress on it. So this is it for today's video. I hope you have enjoyed watching it, and see you soon next time. Bye.